The next material I want to show you comes on rolls, and it looks like this. It's a metallic paper, and it comes on the rolls. It looks very similar to the tissue. The difference is that this will break if I pull on it. The tensile strength is not as great, but why I like to work with this material is that it's very easy to fold, and it gives you a great finish on a box. Now, the next technique that I'm going to show you is the fan bow, and it looks like this. This is what it should look like when I'm finished, or close. The nice thing with this type of material is each time you do it, it's going to look a little bit different, but that's what makes it fun. It's not like a stick-on bow where everything looks just the same. Everything here will be different. It's creative. You're using your own creativity. People tend to look at a box laying down flat with a bow on top. I like to look at it differently. I like to pick up the box and turn it around and maybe put it on its side and think of it as a different shape. So for this one, I'm going to stand the box up. And the way I measure for this is I put the box down, and I want to make sure that I have enough paper to fold over on the bottom of the box and have about maybe 10 inches to the top. And I'm just going to cut this right across here. What I like to do is I like to tape my paper to the edge, near the edge of the box, about an inch in. That way it's going to secure the paper on the box for me. It makes it easier to wrap with. And I'm going to pull the paper all the way over. This way I can pull on it like this, and it's going to be nice and tight. Now I'll just pinch it so I know where my edge is. And I'm going to cut about a ½ an inch from that edge, all the way along. Now you don't throw this away. And now where I've creased it there, I'm going to fold it over, and I'll just put some tape right along here. And again, using the clear tape, you won't see your tape at all. All right, so I've taped that. Now I'm just going to take the bottom, and I'm just going to do a traditional fold here. Again, don't worry about if it's not perfect. It's okay. With this kind of material, it reflects the light and just makes it more interesting. And this is going to be the bottom of your package anyway. They'll be so amazed by your bow, they won't be looking at the bottom of your package. So now you take that and then just tape it down. Okay, so you have your box almost wrapped. You want to take your poly ribbon, and you're just going to tie this up right like this. This will be the base for your bow. The nice part about this ribbon is you might have noticed that I only tied this once, and yet it's holding for me. So I'm only going to tie it once, and when I'm through, then I will double knot it to hold the bow together. So now it's tied, and now I'm going to make the bow. I'm just going to cut some paper here. I want a fairly good sized bow, so I'm going to probably cut about 8 to 10 inches. Now this doesn't have to be perfect again. Just sort of eye it so it looks something like a square. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to take this and I'm going to fan it back and forth. I know this is difficult to see, but just fan it back and forth. Like that. And then you want to crease it. That's the nice part about working with this metallic paper that comes on the roll is it creases very nicely, so it works great for this bow. And then I'm going to just tie it right on here. So I've just tied it and I let it sort of do whatever it wanted to there. Don't worry about that. You can always fix that later. And I'm going to take another one and I'm going to fan it. And I'm going to cross it over so you have the first fan in this direction, and I'm going to crisscross it with this fan and just tie that in. Okay, so you can see you're really building a great looking bow just with these two little pieces. Now I want to add a little more color to this. I like color, if you haven't noticed. So I'm going to put some of this wonderful fuchsia. Now these pieces I'm cutting are going to be a little bit shorter than the copper ones here. It's going to be a little bit shorter. And I'm going to fold them the same way, back and forth like a fan. Remember to crease it. And I'm going to tie that on. I'll take another one, fold it like a fan, and I'm going to tie that again crisscross right here. And don't worry if they aren't even. You can always even them up after you've got them tied on. What I like to do is wait and see what it looks like. Sometimes it looks better when they're a little cockeyed. So there I've added a little color to it. Now if you want to add a little more dimension, what you do is you take the fan and fold it back up. And you cut it at a diagonal, right across like this. And you do that to each one. Cut it in a diagonal, right across like that. So now you have your bow done. Now you can add something in the center. What I'm going to do here is add stars. I love working with the stars. They're fun. They add a lot of color and they're easy to use. What I like to do and what I suggest to my customers is to, instead of trying to untwist, is you take them like this and you just cut it right in half. And that way you have several pieces, but they're really easy to use this way. They're user-friendly. Otherwise, they're in your hair and everywhere. So after you've had them cut like this, you can just grab the ones you want. It's a nice size to use for wrapping. But if you need, after you've cut them and you find you need a longer one, all you have to do is twist them around and you can make a larger piece. But I'm just going to be using the small pieces here. And again, you're going to use your lead ribbon and just tie those right in there. Now to finally finish off this package, I like to use a tool that's called a ribbon slitter. And it looks like this, and it actually shreds the ribbon. And you can also do it with paper too. So I'm going to use one of my scraps. Let me move this out of the way. And I like to fold it over. You can put it in flat, but I like to get more out of it. So do that. Pull it through and pull it through, and you've slit your paper. So just this tiny little piece that you would normally have thrown away, you can use to add a little more interest to your package. So I'm just going to take this and tie it in. And you can see what a difference it makes. Now I'm going to cut off my lead ribbons. And I have my package finished.